Hi, it's Jenny. I'm back again. I promised you another video. Just wanted to give you some information. If you ever want to go kind of hardcore, or if you need some information, additional information, and you want a wonderful Bible, I saw this a few months ago and set it aside. Now I'm bringing it out. Basically, it is this document here, which I will include in the description. It is basically the briefing that I believe it was sent to all, or was either sent to or was available to all of the politicians in the UK concerning Lucy Letby. Now, it was embargoed for a while, and then eventually, as everything else is coming out, leaked. It is 25 pages long. You could, we'll give you the document. You can, I like my things printed out. I'm old school, but you are more than, you can also save it to your computer. I'm kind of using two iPads here to kind of try to highlight what I want to, information I will send to you. And again, there is so much in this that I have to go back and read it again. Usually it takes me a couple of readings before it sinks in. But basically what this is that, oh my God, look at these names here. And this isn't all of the names and what they've done. It's like if Shu Lee hadn't existed, this would have done it. This would have also totally ripped to shreds the entire case. It includes statistical, legal, political, and medical information. It goes point by point. It is just incredible. What I want to do is highlight to you, let me pull this up on my iPad here. I want to highlight to you something real important here. Give me 1 minute here. Look at this wonderful Venn diagram chart, and I'm going to explain this to you. I, at some point, will be making up what I call a cheat sheet. But it'll help me, but it's also going to help you. And basically, it'll just give you point by point, very quickly, what was going on with all these babies. We all know what Venn diagrams are. We've all had it in school. And basically, whatever is in the circle it's kind of going on here, and I will explain it to you. This was, I believe, created by Peter Elston, who was one of the statisticians early on, again with Richard Gill and Norm Fenton, and I think a few other ones that would just have been in the forefront in the beginning of this. So let's look at the circle here that says sepsis, all the way going on here. You can see all the babies, J, L, M, A, B, down to F, I, and including D. These were all the babies that were diagnosed with sepsis. Now, just an FYI, the microbiologist that has contacted me he says every single one of these babies had to have antibiotics. That means there was an infection or a suspected infection. It may not have gotten to the level of a sepsis, but it definitely got there. And another thing, just another look at this one right here. This is the full term. Only one is full term. Look at all the babies here that are preterm. That means they're just a few weeks away from being born, but that's still important. Every week, in fact, every day that you go before the 37th week is very important. And even I want to stress to you, even though 37 weeks out of 40 is considered term, they even write, neonatologists will even say early term. So there's even a difference between a 37-weeker and let's say a 39-weeker. Obviously not to the degree of the other weeks, but again, they even differentiate between an early term and a late preterm. Baby D here was, I think, one day, it was born at 37 and 2 days, so that would have been an early term baby. And again, that makes a difference. Those last couple of weeks, you want to get as close as possible to 40. And you can only go over so much over the 40. Now look at here. Look at all these babies right here. Very extremely preterm. My God, that is incredible. Even though you were born, and let's just say you're around for a few weeks, no matter what, you can never, ever, ever replicate the environment that's in the environment, oh, I apologize again, an environment that is in the womb. Externally, again, it's going to take, it might even take years for these babies to even ever catch up, even if they ever do. Remember, you need that, all those stuff to do those organs and stuff like that to, I don't want to say cook, but literally cook and make those, develop really well. Now look at this intrauterine growth restriction. Holy cow. This is intrauterine growth restriction is right in here. And what intrauterine growth restrictions are, there are a few causes, but it's basically telling me that the placenta and or the umbilical cord, or both together, are not providing all the blood, the nutrients, everything that baby needs to grow, and it doesn't grow as well. It's restricted. So even though it may go to a certain amount of weeks, what we would say I don't want to say a healthy, but a pretty decent preterm thing, the fact that this baby is intrauterine growth restricted, even though it's only a few weeks from being what we would classify as term, is still a big deal. Now, look at that respiratory distress syndrome. Look at all those babies that are in there. Sepsis. Again, here is the multiples. Right here. Look at that. Look at all the multiples that are in there. So let's just take this baby's L&M. I believe one of them was an add-on. One of them was an insulin add-on. So we're going, again, I apologize that this is not staying on for me. Again, I am a rank amateur. L&M. So they're in the multiple birth circle, they're in the intrauterine growth restriction circle, and they're in the respiratory distress circle, and the sepsis circle too. Now tell me that was a stable baby. Tell me. Oh, again, I will be adding some more information as I glean it from this area here. There's just a wealth of information. And again, I will provide that for you. So if you would want to do your own research, you are welcome to. I don't expect you to do that. Again, it just floors me looking at this Venn diagram. I just think this is phenomenal. Another thing I want to point out here, you're seeing these little red dots here on some of these babies. This tells you additional issues. One has hemophilia, one is antiphospholipid. Twin-to-twin transfusion is a huge issue. And again, what I will do is I will piece out these babies for you in some sort of a diagram, or not a diagram, but basically so you know which one of these is hemophilia, and just so you have some sort of a, what I would call a cheat sheet. Again, thank you for all of your comments, concerns, questions, any add-ons. I take everything to heart. And if I do find anything that needs to be corrected, I will do that. And again, I need you all to mark my homework. Bye-bye.